Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another video here. This is now going to be a video which is going to be week 14 NFL predictions or picks and week 13 recap, like the games that went on from last week and stuff. And pretty much just going to go over that, and then we'll go over the games for, yeah, which one is it? Yeah, this one. Okay. So, yeah, we're just going to go over week 13 and do the picks for week 14. So let's get right into this. Hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving. Hope everybody's doing well. I mean, I'm doing a little bit better than the last time I did a video because when I did the week predictions for the 13th week, I didn't really sound all that great, unfortunately. I mean, I'm still a little bit under the weather, but not really all that bad. Just mostly just still trying to get better pretty much. But I mean, I am getting better. I mean, this is taking a while, unfortunately. But anyway, let's get into this. So for week 13, we had some games that were pretty good. I usually say that a lot of times. I mean, but for this one, it was not really all that bad. So we had our Thanksgiving games, of course, too. We had the Lions beating the Bears by a final score of 23-20. I went with the Lions in that one. I'm pretty sure I did. The Cowboys beat the Giants 27-20. I'm pretty sure I did pick the Cowboys. The Packers beat the Dolphins 30-17. Once again, all those games on Thanksgiving, I watched a little bit of the Cowboys and Giants, and the Packers and Dolphins, same thing as well. Wasn't really just all that interested in them. Then on Friday, we had our special Black Friday matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders. Well, Los Angeles, right? Not Los Angeles either. It's Las Vegas. I was close. Just wrong city once again. My bad. So anyway, the Chiefs somehow beat the Raiders 19-17. I say somehow because of the fact that it was a close game. I mean, I don't know how the Chiefs are getting away with these victories, but really it's the referees, doing it because you see all that stuff on the internet, like people showing Patrick Mahomes, kissing one of the referees, but that's not really a real thing. It's just a Photoshop thing or just something people doing to piss people off. I'm not a Chiefs fan. I used to be. I like when Trent Green was with them, and I used to like Patrick Mahomes, but now he's just a cocky quarterback, like how Tom Brady was, when he was starting with the New England Patriots. Yeah. So, unfortunately, the Chiefs got the victory, like I said, but the Raiders did have a chance to get back into it, but however, they didn't really manage the clock all that well. They should have at least stopped the clock, and they could have went for the field goal or a touchdown, either one, and they somehow did not. Now to our Sunday games. The Ravens unfortunately lost to the Eagles, and that's a shame, unfortunately. Lamar Jackson, did all right, but I always pronounce his name wrong for the Eagles. I think it's Saquon Barkley, something like that. It's not Shaquan, I don't think, but pretty sure that's like Saquon. Yeah, he had a pretty good game, and Derrick Henry did all right too. Those two are pretty much neck and neck with the rushing yards, and Jalen Hurts had a pretty good game. Well, one touchdown, but of course Lamar Jackson 237 yards. He so far, has 29 touchdowns on the year and 3 interceptions. Of course, those stats are really, really good. And he's got 3,290 yards passing. Of course, they're looking like MVP numbers right now, but I'm pretty sure Patrick Mahomes has probably got stats, that are pretty good as well, too. But I don't want him, winning the MVP award. Well, actually, no. I mean, he's got 19 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. But really, I mean, I know Lamar's, having a good season and stuff. But as for the Ravens, they're struggling as it is. And speaking of them, they are on a bye week, so there will be no Ravens football for this Sunday. Then we had the Indianapolis Colts beating the New England Patriots by a final score of 25-24. And, of course, I went with the Ravens beat the Eagles. The Colts I went with to beat the Patriots. And I believe the Patriots have been eliminated from the playoffs, of course. Not just them. There's a few other teams that are eliminated as well. I think the Jaguars, and I don't know about the Bears. I mean, I thought it said they were, but Of course, that player for the Bears that hit Trevor Lawrence in that game has been suspended, I think, for 3 games, even though he did do an apology for what he did. But still, it was not something, he really should have done, with that hit. But really, it didn't really look like it was a bad hit or something, it didn't like it was on purpose, but some may have like a different point of view or whatever. But still, he got suspended, and the Colts beat the Patriots by the final score 25-24. Once again, sorry to repeat. The Steelers beat the Bengals 44-38. I was really hoping the Bengals would beat them, but they did not. The Chargers beat the Falcons 17-13, and I went with the Chargers in that. The Seahawks beat the Jets 26-21. I think I went with the Jets, actually. I like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I think he is a great quarterback, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but pretty much they did not beat the Seahawks. The Texans beat the Jaguars by a final score of 23-20, and Trevor Lawrence, of course, who not really going to be in the game, unfortunately. And actually, I think it was the Houston Texans player that hit, or was it the Texans player? Now I'm not sure like who it was. I mean, okay, it was the Texans player. I'm sorry. I mean, I just thought it was the Bears player, but no, it was the Texans. But the Texans still got the win 23-20, and possibly Trevor Lawrence is going to be out for the rest of the year or for the rest of the season. And once again, the Jaguars are already eliminated. They're 2-10, and Mac Jones will be the quarterback to pretty much take his place. And I have nothing against Mac Jones. I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about the guy, but I'm sure he can do a pretty good job, to take the spot for Trevor Lawrence. Anywho, the Vikings beat the Cardinals by a final score of 23-22. The Vikings, I believe, were down like 20 or 19-9 or something, or 19-7 or whatever. One of them scored something like that. I thought it was something like that. But the Vikings did get the win. The Vikings go to 10-2, which is pretty good for them. That's great. The Commanders destroyed the Titans by a final score of 42-19, and Titans, I believe, have been eliminated. Jaden Daniels had a pretty good game, the quarterback for them. Did have one interception, but that doesn't mean anything. The Buccaneers beat the Panthers by the final score of 26-23 in overtime. Panthers have already been eliminated. Buccaneers, I'm not a huge Baker Mayfield fan. I never really have been. I believe he played for the Cleveland Browns as well, too. I'm pretty sure that he did. I mean, I'm just going to get him up real quick and look at his stats, like the teams that he's played for. Here we go. Yep, he was a Brown, in 2018 when he started. Then he went to the Carolina Panthers for one season, or actually maybe well, he was with them. Then he went to the Rams, and then he went to the Buccaneers. Pretty much after Tom Brady retired, I guess. I think they did have Jameson Winston, that quarterback for them, but now he's with the Browns. And I believe he's the one that's playing, or because I don't think it's Deshaun Watson. I think Watson is hurt. I mean, I'm not really paying attention to football as much as I do, like with baseball and all that. But I'm glad, the Buccaneers won. I mean, even though, again, I'm not a huge Baker Mayfield fan, but I did pick them to win. The Rams beat the Saints by a final score of 21-14. The Saints, I believe, might be eliminated from playoff contention. They're 4-8. I don't really know. I didn't, because I think it showed me like AFC teams or no, it showed me AFC and NFC teams that are like still in the playoff hunt, or actually no, that the ones that are eliminated. Then we have the Bills that destroyed the 49ers 35-10. And of course, the Bills, with all that snow at their stadium, they were able to still play the game. And they paid a bunch of people like $20 an hour or something or whatever to shovel the snow. And I'm pretty sure they made a good amount of money with that. Yeah, so Bills once again victorious. And I really hope the Bills do make it to the Super Bowl, because I think they have won the Super Bowl, but have the Buffalo Bills won the Super Bowl? Okay, they never have. Okay, well, I'm a fool. My bad. But I hope they do, advance, and if the Ravens do not win the Super Bowl, then my second pick will be the Buffalo Bills. And finally, the Denver Broncos beat the Cleveland Browns by a final score of 41-32. I believe the Browns are eliminated from playoff contention. Jameson Winston had 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, though, and Bo Nix did pretty well, but 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. And there you go. So I did pretty well. I mean, I picked a good amount of teams that won, and of course, some that did not. But anyway, let's get into week 14 now. So our first matchup we have is the Green Bay Packers taking on the Detroit Lions on Thursday Night Football. The Packers are 9-3, and the Lions are 11-1. Should be a really good matchup because both teams have a really good record. Last meeting, the Lions wound up beating the Packers by a final score of 24-14 on November 3rd. The Lions are a 3-point favorite, and I'm going to agree with that, but I don't think it's going to be by 3 points. I think it's a little bit more than that. I say Lions 29 and Packers 23, somewhere like around that. May seem like a little bit of a odd score or whatever, some people, but that's just why it's called a prediction, Then we have Sunday matchups. We have the New York, New Jersey. I usually call them New Jersey Jets because of the fact, that they really play in New Jersey. The Jets taking on the Miami Dolphins. I'm sure Alex Putnam is probably looking forward to this one, but I don't know. I mean, I'm going to actually go with the Jets. That probably sounds like an upset in this one, but I'm going with them. I think Aaron Rodgers plays good in this one and beats the Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa, I can never pronounce his name. I mean, I think really he should retire, unfortunately, because of them injuries with the concussion. But it's his choice to play. But I just think the Jets get this one over the Dolphins. And I say, oh, by the way, the Jets are not a favorite. The Dolphins are a 6-point favorite. But I'm going to go with the Jets and say they get it 27-20. And last meeting they had was back in 2023 of last year, where the Dolphins shut them out 30-0. I don't think really that'll happen this time. Next one we have is the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. Last time they faced each other, the Vikings beat them 31-28. And looking for the favorite in this one. The Vikings are a 6-point favorite, and yeah, for good reason. I mean, the Vikings are playing really good. Falcons, they're 6-6. I mean, they're not out of playoff contention as far as I know, but I'm pretty sure that the Vikings are going to get this one and go 11-2. Vikings and Bills would probably be a pretty interesting matchup because Vikings are an NFC team, I'm pretty sure, and I know the Bills are an AFC team. That'd probably be a future Super Bowl matchup. Some people may disagree with it, but anywho, I'm going to go with the Vikings in this one, 24-14 by 10 points. Next one we have is New Orleans Saints and the New York Jersey Giants. And Daniel Jones, as far as I know, has not been picked up. The quarterback that was either going to go the Vikings or the Ravens. Pretty sure the Saints are a favorite in this one over the Giants. I know two of my friends, Eddie and Michael, are probably not going to be too thrilled about this. I'm going to pick the Saints, actually. I mean, the Saints are a 4.5-point favorite, but I just like their chances more than New York. I mean, sorry, but I'm just going to go with that. So I say Saints over the Giants, 25-19. We have the Carolina Panthers and the Philadelphia Eagles. This is not a great matchup, unfortunately. This is a bad matchup. The last time these two faced each other was 2021, where the Eagles beat them 21-18. And the other one I didn't show you or say between the Saints and Giants, last time they faced each other was 2023, where the Saints won 24-6. But anywho, I'm going to go with the Eagles in this one for sure. I mean, that's another team I think will be good. The Eagles and Bills in the Super Bowl. That would be a good one too. So Eagles over the Panthers in this one, 30-14. That was a pretty easy one. But you never know, the Panthers may do pretty well. But here's probably going to be another upset pick. The Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And yes, I am going with the Cleveland Browns in this one to upset the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it's time, for the Steelers to have a taste of defeat once again, where the Browns beat them on the Thursday night football matchup in the snow. I don't imagine it's going to be snowing in this game. And of course, the Browns, did get the victory 24-19. And I don't think it's going to be the same score. I think it's going to be a little bit more than that. I mean, Jameson Winston had a really good game, and I think that he will do good. I think they'll put a stop to Pittsburgh offense and the defense as well, too. I say the Browns get this 27-23. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than that, though, but I still think the Browns, get the victory. I'm just rooting for them, as I really would like the Steelers to lose. Tired of them winning. Overrated team. Anywho, next one is the Raiders. I know the Pittsburgh Steelers are a favorite, but it's hard to go with an upset pick, and, if you want to do that. Next one is the Las Vegas Raiders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another matchup, not really all that great, but Raiders could play pretty well. The Buccaneers, I think, just have this in the bag. Last time they faced each other was in 2020, where the Buccaneers won 45-20. Interesting. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers again in this one. Don't think it's going to be that much, but I say they do put up 30, and the Raiders put up 20. And I say that's how the final score shall be. Next one is the Tennessee Titans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Two teams that are pretty much eliminated from playoff contention. Will Levis or Levis, I think it's Levis, and Mac Jones taking on each other in this one. I just pretty much think it'll go in favor to the Titans. The Titans are a 3.5-point favorite, and I pretty much think that shall be a victory for them. They last faced each other on January 7th of 2024, and the Titans were victorious, and I think they will get the win. I say 24-14. Our next one is now the 4 o'clock, later games. The Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. I almost said St. Louis Cardinals for some reason, but that's the baseball team. This should be a pretty decent matchup between Geno Smith and Kyler Murray. And I think the Seahawks actually get it. I mean, I like the Seahawks. I do like the Cardinals as well, too. But I remember when they had Kurt Warner and Matt Leinart on their team. And the Seahawks, of course, with Matt Hasselbeck, one of my favorite quarterbacks. I thought he was really good. He did have a brother, Tim Hasselbeck, but he didn't really have a successful career as much as his brother. But Arizona is a 2.5-point favorite, but I think the Seahawks get this by more than 2.5. I say Seahawks 28 and the Cardinals 25. They'll be, decided by a field goal. Next one is the Buffalo Bills and the, I want to call them St. Louis Rams, of course, but it is Los Angeles Rams. Bills at 11-2 or at 10-2, but I'm pretty sure they will be 11-2 after this, and the Rams will drop to 6-7. The last time they faced each other was in 2022, and the Bills were victorious. And Bills are a 4-point favorite in this one. I pretty much think the Bills get this one. I say 32-20, that they put up well over 30 points in this one. It's very possible because Josh Allen is a really good quarterback. I mean, he could be, vote for the MVP award as well, too, if it shall not be Lamar Jackson. But I don't think Lamar really, being the favorite. Well, I'm sure he's a favorite to win the MVP again, but I think Josh Allen is definitely a number 2 favorite. He's got 20 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. I mean, that's pretty good, actually. I mean, again, he's a great quarterback. Matt Stafford's, doing pretty well for the Rams. He's got close to 3,000 yards passing and 17 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, but they'll still put up a pretty good matchup, I think. But I think it goes in favor of the Bills. And then we have the Chicago Bears, and the San Francisco 49ers at San Francisco. Pretty much a battle with Jim McMahon and Joe Montana. If we be talking an 80s matchup, between these two, I'm sure they face each other many times. Last time they faced each other was in 2022, and the Bears won 19-10. Brock Purdy, the quarterback for them, and for the Bears, I really do not know. I mean, Brock Purdy is pretty much having an okay season, and Caleb Williams. I got to get to know these quarterbacks a little bit more. I mean, the later players for the Bears, like Rex Grossman. I know people don't want to hear Colin Kaepernick for the 49ers, but they've had their share of quarterbacks like Jeff Garcia, Trent Dilfer, Alex Smith. He's another good one too. I believe he's retired. Very underrated quarterback. But anyway, I'm going to go with the Bears in this one, actually, over the 49ers. Might be a little bit of a question mark maybe again, but it's a battle between a team that's 4-8. Yeah. And the 49ers are 5-7. I don't know if they're eliminated from the playoffs. The 49ers, I mean, I don't really think they are. They could still get a wild card spot in the NFC. But I'm going to go with the Bears in this one over the 49ers. I'd say 23-19. And now we get to our Sunday Night Football matchup on NBC. And this is a battle between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Ugh. Of course, the Chiefs will be playing at home while the Chargers are doing really good with an 8-4 record. I believe, I want to say that's the same as the Ravens. No, the Ravens are 8-5. Yeah. If we had beaten we were 8-4 entering the matchup against the, I forgot who we lost to, the Eagles. But if the Ravens won, they would have been 9-4. But anywho, this should be a really good matchup. It really should. The favorite, of course, is the Chiefs by 3.5, but that doesn't mean anything. They may be 11-1, but I really want to go with the Chargers in this one. I will not pick the Chiefs over them in this one. I mean, I went with the Raiders, to try and beat them. They almost did, but I think the Chargers, Justin Herbert, he's another very good quarterback. My mom, is a fan of him as well, too, because he's a pretty good quarterback. I mean, and I got to agree, he is having a really good season with 13 touchdowns and only 1 interception and 2,551 yards passing. But I think he plays a pretty good game in this one. I hope Patrick Mahomes has a bad game. I mean, I don't want him to get hurt or anything like that, but I want the Chargers to play much, much better than the Chiefs. I'd say Chargers get this one 26-20. We'll just go with that. I was going to say a little bit lower than that, but I'm like, nah, I don't think they'll get less than 20. But anyway, that's it for them. Now, the Monday Night Football matchup. This should be pretty much an all right one, looks like. It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Dallas Cowboys. I know Mr. Tim, he's a big Cowboys fan. I'm not really a huge fan of them that much. I mean, same with the Bengals. I mean, but I do like the guy that looks like Kevin McAllister, Macaulay Culkin. I can never remember his name. Joe Burrow. There it is. And he's actually having a pretty good year right now. I believe he's leading he leads with 3,337 yards passing and 30 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. So that's very, very good numbers right there. While the Cowboys, of course, do not have their quarterback, Dak Prescott, he is out with his injury, and I think he's out for the rest of the season. So their quarterback that they have, and I never really remember his name, but I got it right here, Cooper Rush. And pretty much he's all right. I mean, he's got 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, but he's mostly a bench quarterback, or he'll just come in like if the Cowboys are like running away with the game. You know what I mean? But anywho, I'm actually going to go with the Bengals in this one. I know probably not the pick I should go with, but Cincinnati is actually a 5-point favorite. Once again, Burrow is putting up really good numbers, and I think he'll do it again in this one. As long as he doesn't get injured and stuff. And same with the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. If he gets hurt too, then they got to go to their third string, and I have no idea who it is. It's probably a rookie. I know Andy Dalton played for them, but I think he's with the Panthers. Hey, Siri, what team is Andy Dalton on? Yep, it is the Panthers. You didn't really hear her say it, but well, I didn't hear it either. Mayhew going with the Bengals in this one over the Cowboys, and I say 30-19. I think it'll be somewhere around there. Okay, and that's it. And of course, the teams on bye weeks: the Ravens, of course, the Broncos, Texans, Colts, Patriots, and Commanders. And that is going to do it. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video of the week 14 NFL picks and week 13 recap, because usually, I do that kind of stuff, just to go over that kind of thing. But anywho, once again, hope everybody enjoyed this. All right. So thanks again for joining in. You all take care. Thanks again for watching. You all take care. Thank you.